One of the dangerous mistakes a believer can make is to confuse waiting with wasting. And sadly, many people still do that today. You hear things like, I'm in a process. I am waiting on God. God is doing something for me. It's going to show very soon. It's just a season, it's going to pass. And yes, many times that is actually true. But it's not every season that is a process. And it is not every delay that is growth. Think about it this way. If a student spends 4 years in law school to graduate, that is a process. If an apprentice spends 2 years to learn a skill, that is a process. Those years, they are processes that the person is going through. And if a believer goes through a season where God is working on their character, working on discipline and dependence, that is a process as well. Why? Because in that process, something is being produced. Growth is happening. Capacity is increasing. And transformation is taking place. So the process is not defined by discomfort. The process is defined by development. And this is where many persons get it wrong. So they assume that because they are suffering, they must be going through a process. Because they are suffering, growth has to be taking place. And suffering and growth, they are not the same thing. My emphasis today is you can't be suffering. You can be going through challenging time. You can be going through this and that. And it is not a process. It is not God that kept you there. So the suffering itself is not a process. The process is the growth. Think about Joseph. Before the palace came the pit. Before the throne came the prison. But Joseph was not merely going through all those hardships. In that process, God was developing, look at his story. God was developing administrative power and wisdom. God was developing character and discipline. So his process was not the prison itself. The process was what God produced in Joseph while he was in prison. Again, let's think about David. Before the throne came the wilderness. In that wilderness, he was killing dangerous animals with his bare hands. And before the crown came obscurity, nobody knows him. Nobody knows him. And he was going through those things as a process. David was learning warfare. He was learning leadership. He was learning dependence on God. He was learning how to shepherd God's people now. So I can say that the process for David was not the wilderness. The process itself was what the wilderness was producing. Now let's bring this closer to home. Let's talk on a personal level now. Some people have been in the same financial condition, situation for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. No new knowledge, no new skill, no new capacity, no growth. Like almost nothing has changed in their life. Nothing has increased. No capacity has increased. No new discipline. But they will tell you, this poverty, this lack is a process. It will pass. God is taking me through it. But if nothing is changing except the suffering, my question is, what exactly is the process you are now going through? And please, this is not condemnation. I'm sorry my voice, but this is not condemnation. This is how I talk on a normal day. So it's not condemnation. This is an invitation to honesty. Because God, I know God. He does not just call us to make us suffer. He doesn't call us to hardship or merely to endure seasons. He calls us to grow through him. And a farmer, you see, a farmer understands this principle. And it's the principle that time alone does not produce harvest. Seed must be planted. If you like, stay on your field and say that, oh, okay, this is January. By December, I should harvest like how many days of corn, of yam, tubers of yam and everything. A farmer should know if seed is not planted, from that January to December, by the time everybody is harvesting in December, it will have nothing to harvest because it's not about the time. It's about what was planted, what was growing in the space of the time. So the question is, has he cultivated the soil? Did he plant any seed? Is there anything he was doing in that process? Was he seeding? Was he cutting? Was he making everywhere? Was he putting in the work, even in that hardship? Waiting without growth eventually becomes wasting. Not because God is not faithful, or because God is unfaithful, no. But because we have allowed time to pass without transformation. Ecclesiastes tells us that there is time and season for everything. But seasons are not just created to pass. It is a time to develop something, to grow something, to build something. And this brings me to a major conviction. Poverty is not a process. Do not let the devil lie to you. God will not take you into poverty. And he will say, just be staying there. Nothing is changing, Nothing is, you're not going, just stay in that poverty. That's my process for you. That's why many people, many Christians die poor, die of malnutrition, die of terrible health issues. So I'm going to repeat, poverty is not a process. Lack is not a process. The process is the wisdom you gain, the character you build, the discipline you develop, and the capacity that you acquired, especially the transformation that takes place within you. Because at the end of the day, the primary interest of God is not in changing your circumstances. It is in changing you yourself. And when God changes a person, he often changes what that person carries. So stop asking, when will this my situation change? And start asking, what is this season producing in me? So do not merely count the years, count the growth. Do not merely measure the discomfort. Measure your development in this season, because the process is not the lack. The process is the growth. And before I make my last point here, I want you to take a moment to subscribe to my channel, Rooted with Elujoke. Here we stay rooted in Christ, while we build godly characters, we'll align with purpose, and we build godly relationships and marriage eventually. So if that sounds like something you are interested in, I ask that you like this video, you share it with somebody, you subscribe to the channel, and you click the notification button so you get notified when I drop another video. I drop short videos every day, then I drop long videos twice a week. So you will be blessed by being a part of this channel. Now to the last thing I'm going to say, waiting becomes dangerous when it stops producing transformation and starts giving excuses for stagnation. So ask yourself again, measure it. Am I waiting or am I wasting? The Lord will help you.